You're listening to the CobCast. I'm Cobb, and this is The Cast, and today I wanted to bring you an update on a story I've been covering for about the last year or so. It's the story of Delta-8 and other THC isomers in the state of Texas. I haven't done anything about this for the official CobCast feed, but I've covered it extensively as a staff writer for the Dallas Observer. Eventually, I want to put out a longer episode about all this stuff, but until then, here's the latest. This week, Austin manufacturer Hometown Hero won a temporary injunction against the state's ban on THC isomers. Hemp companies like Hometown Hero, as well as consumers, believed that under state and federal law, they could make and consume hemp-derived THC isomers as long as they don't have more than 0.3% Delta-9 THC. Delta-9 is the primary psychoactive ingredient in weed. But last month, the Texas Department of State Health Services, or DSHS, added a statement to its website saying that all THC isomers in any concentration, including Delta-8, were Schedule I controlled substances. This sent the hemp industry into a panic. Stores pulled products off shelves, and consumers tried to stock up on what had become felonious contraband. Some turned to selling what they say are legal Delta-9 products that have psychoactive effects, but still fall under the 0.3% legal limit on a dry weight basis. Hometown Hero was one of the first companies in Texas to take legal action against DSHS over its ban on THC isomers. They say the state didn't take proper steps to make this change, and there wasn't proper notice. The company argued in court on October 25th against the state's move, hoping a judge would grant a temporary restraining order on the ban. The temporary restraining order was denied, and a hearing for a temporary injunction on the ban was set for Friday, November 5th. Attorneys on both sides spent a lot of time discussing the state and federal definition of hemp, but the hearing wasn't about definitions. It was about the process DSHS used to make this change and whether it was proper. This all started in August when the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency updated its list of controlled substances so it was in line with the 2018 Farm Bill. When the DEA, quote, designates, reschedules, or deletes a substance from the list, this triggers the state's ability to choose whether to adopt those changes. In Texas, this decision is up to DSHS Commissioner John Hellerstedt. But attorneys for Hometown Hero argue that the DEA didn't designate, reschedule, or delete anything. They say that the DEA was just, quote, conforming the list to be in line with federal hemp laws, so the state was never triggered to adopt or object to those changes. Even if the state was triggered to make an objection, Hometown Hero and other hemp companies argue they weren't given proper notice or a proper hearing on the change. Last September, DSHS posted a notice online for the hearing regarding changes to the Texas list of controlled substances. It was titled, Objection to Implementing DEA Rule Changes. No one showed up to the hearing or sent in public comments. Jay McGuire, executive director of the Texas Hemp Federation, said he monitors the Texas Register for changes in the state's hemp laws. He said most people, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, use the Texas Register website instead of a hard copy. Included on the website are text-searchable PDFs. This allows McGuire and others to search key terms relevant to the hemp industry to keep up with changing laws. McGuire said, quote, all of the Texas Register is text-searchable, except in one specific and odd instance. That odd instance was the state's notice of objection to the DEA-controlled substances list. If the notice of the change and hearing were text-searchable, McGuire said he and many others would have shown up to the hearing or sent in public comments in objection. But they didn't know about it, and DSHS made the change to the state's controlled substances list regardless. Specifically, Dishes amended the entries for THC and marijuana extract to include THC isomers like Delta-8. After about 3 hours, the hearing was adjourned. Hometown Hero and other companies and Delta-8 consumers would have to wait the weekend for a decision. On Monday, they found out the temporary injunction was granted. This means that, until there's a full trial, the state must revert back to how it handled THC isomers before the change was made. The court order said Dishes, quote, shall remove from its currently published schedule of controlled substances the most recent modifications of the following terms, THC and marijuana extract, and any subsequent publications of the same, if any, until further notice of this court. The state is expected to appeal this decision, but barring a successful appeal, Delta-8 and other THC isomers will be allowed to be sold in Texas until a full trial sometime in January next year. And that's about all I have for you for right now on THC isomers in Texas. If there are any other updates, I'll be sure to let you know. Until then, I'm Jacob Vaughn, a journalist based out of North Texas. Some people call me Cobb. And this is the CobCast. Thanks for listening.